So click under here under settings and change from imperial default to metric. Yep, and millimeters. And you don't need one this big. So let's make this about a 50 by, well, let's figure this out. How about make it 100? How about making it 100 by 100? And that'll should give us a good visual about how much space we have to build in. All right, so I use TinkerCAD with a mouse. Right now I'm scrolling with it. I got a scroll button. If I do a right click, I can turn it around and twist it around. If I do a left click, I can select things. I can also orient myself with this top button. I can bring myself back home so it's flat. If I'm working on something in here in detail and I want to get closer, I can use that button and so forth. And this also zooms in and out as well. All right, here's the work plane in millimeters. So we're going to start off by making sure that this file has got the right name. So it's got a weird name right now. So we're going to type in your last name. So that's my last name, first initial. This is, you can call this LED circuit. You can call it blinking LED, whatever you want. And then let's put in here class period just for fun. So I'll call this period 2. All right. I need a box. I need a couple boxes and a couple gaps. And I've got my measurements, and I'll help you figure. You have your measurements. You've written it down, I hope. So I'm going to pull a basic shape out this box. My PCB, my circuit board, has a measurement of 41 by 43. So I click on that, one of these corner buttons, doesn't matter. I'm going to get the vertical and the horizontal measurements, which I've written down. So click on that. I can click on here and I can change that. I'm going to change this to 41. Nope, I want that one to be, nope, I'll flip that around. I don't want that to be 41 because that's not how my drawing is written or my brain is working right now. Let's make this 44. And this one is 41. So it's close to a square, but it's not quite. Okay. And then the height of the tallest component on my circuit board, which is this direction. So let's turn this to the front so you can see this better. All right. So I've got these at the base. That's the height. So mine was 13 millimeters. So I'm going to type in 13 right here. Okay. So that is actually the size of the PCB, our circuit board. Okay, I'm just going to call it a circuit board from his son. Okay, all right. Now, so this actually should become a hole in our project. So I'm going to slip this up here, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to change this to a hole. All right. Now I want to build something on the outside. Oh, let's make another hole. Let's make a hole for the battery. So why don't we just grab this square here that's a hole. I'm going to bring this out here. My battery measurements were 52. Let's click on this. I'm really above it. So let's go to the front here. I can also do that. Oh, a little too close. All right. So it's 52 millimeters long. Okay, it's 52 millimeters long, 27 millimeters tall. So that's this button here, 27. And its thickness is, so that would be this button over here. It is 18 millimeters. Okay. So I have my 2 boxes. Wow, that battery looks so much bigger than my circuit board. And it really is. Almost. Yeah. The battery itself is about the same height as the circuit board. So now I have to figure out which orientation I want. And I hope you have done some sketching on this before. And I actually don't like it, this being tall like that. So I've drawn it a little wrong. So I'm going to come over here. click on this end. I'm going to rotate this. Click on that little arrow here, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees so it lays flat. Now, it's not flat. If you look under here, it's above the work plane. Everything that prints on the printer there has to be on the work plane. So I'm going to just click the D key. D. All right. We're going to have to make some changes on that anyway because we started with this down. So let me go back to home.
And we can play with it again later.
Right. Now,
bring that up again.
I need to build the box around it.
Actually, I need to build two boxes. I think I want all my components that I have right here.
That.
But I think that I want them all even. So we can use something, a different tool here. Let's bring this in.
I could do another rotation.
All right, we can use a tool that's called a line.
And then click and drag this
so
up here. So it's right next to it. Could work. That could work.
I think what I'm first do is I'm going to group this. Okay. Nope. I'm going to group all of this.
My brain is kind of working like this, that this is the better direction that I have
in
my head.
That. Oh, it cut that part off. That's okay.
So,
because what I really want to do is I want to
bring
in.
So I'm going to hit the D key. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to back in and ungroup it and see if all my pieces held.
All right. I'm going to bring in another cube.
Yeah. See why I cut the wall off? Because that's really far.
I'm going to make.
I'm just totally guessing here. I'm going to make my dimensions, including both pieces, and actually we can just play around with this. I'm going to drag this one out like that, and then I'm going to scooch this in so I can use my keys like that. Okay, it's too tall. I can't tell actually how big it is. Okay, turn it like that. There we go. All right. I'm going to click and drag this way. Okay. And I can't see any of my holes here. So let's do this. So what I'm going to do here now is we're going to use this align button, which hasn't been used in many projects, but you need to use it in a couple. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to click on this one. And then I get this tool right here. It says align. So I'm going to click on that and I get all these circles. Okay. So if I bring this over here and I just hover and I don't click, did you see how the hole, the one with the stripes, moved more to the left? If I center over here, it's going to center it, put it dead center, or it's going to bring over here, it's going to bring it all the way to the right. I want this to be centered right there. Okay, so I want that centered, and I want the box here to actually be. I want the box and this piece. I don't want it centered. I don't want it to set on the bottom. Actually, it's moving this, so it's going to move this back up. So okay, move that up. There we have it. That is absolutely flat surfaced with our solid box. Let's see what happens with this box here. All right, so click off this. Now we're going to align that with this. Okay, see if that worked well. Yep. So I did a dual click. All right, I'm going to click the align button again. Oh, maybe I have to do shift here. There we go. I did a shift function and then click the align. And now I can align this. I want this one to line center. Oh, did that work? Okay, align. I want it to center. All right, center. Good. And I want this also to be up here. So I'm going to click this and it's just going to peek out here. And then I want it to move more in there, but I don't know that I want it to center. I don't want it to center. So I'm done with the align key. And then I'm going to click the hole and I'm just going to shift it over. Okay. How are we doing? Let's look at the top. That looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. Now, this box here, that means that what this means, the way we've set this up, let me make this a hole and you can see through it. Okay, so by the way, the color only is a color. You can change it whatever color you want. It's whatever machine you choose to print it on. So the battery is going to sit in, it's going to sit low, and it's going to sit right at the top here. Okay, that's okay. It's It's going to set in there, but it's going to be right at the top. Same thing for our LED blinking LEDs, but it's going to have a thicker base here. So it's going to sit flush with the top. We might need to move it up a little bit, or we can drop our block, this solid block down. But if we look around this looks looking pretty good. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, let me group this. Drop it to the bottom. Oh, nope, that's not what I'm going to do. Hit the back arrow. Okay. I want to make that a solid. Flip this over. Group all of it. Grouping it also shows you the holes, that they're actually holes. Okay, that's kind of nice. All right, now I want to select that and I hit the D key so it goes to the bottom. Okay, cool. All right, now we need a pathway for the wire. So if I have it in this orientation, this is the right side. This is right and left. The wire gets soldered in this corner of our circuit board, but for mine, my wires are leading this way. They're going towards the right. And then that means that the battery wire is also going into the right of this side. So I need to make a gap here between these two. How am I going to do that? Glad you asked. What are we going to make? A hole. All right. So can I make this a hole? I think I need to ungroup all these again. Okay. Ungroup. Okay. We're going to make this. I'm going to make a hole. So where are we at? We need to make a hole, which is a rectangle, and it has to be go through here. Now looking at this and thinking where this hole is going to be, I think I need to make this actually a little bit bigger. This hole, I want to make it a little deeper. So let me see if I can click on just that one. Okay. Are they all ungrouped? They're ungrouped. Nope. Ungroup them. All right. Make that solid. Click on this hole. All right, I want to make this a little taller. I want to make this hole a little taller. So I'm going to make it about, let's see if I can make it 5 millimeters taller. I'm going to guess that this can be 18. Okay. I do want it to poke up. I want this one to be a little bit taller too, so it sticks up above, and make sure we cut the hole, but we also keep this down below. So we make a big enough hole that it can rest inside. All right, so this one we want to made it taller, and now we want to sink it down, so we can do that. Yep. All right, let's look at this one here. Yep. All right, we need to make this a little taller too. Let's click on this. Just going to make it a little taller. Make this 0.2 or 20. Okay. And then we can also bring this down a little bit. You can do so much things with this TinkerCAD. I'm just messing with an idea I have. You can mess with whatever ideas you have as well. All right, so now we need to make a hole that is going to connect, that's going to go right here. And it's going to cut through this piece into these two pieces. So let's make a whole rectangle here. How wide should this be? Good question. Let's see. You can make it as narrow, according to my measurements, as narrow as like 3 millimeters and go to all the way to 5 millimeters. So I'm going to make mine 5 millimeters wide. 5. Okay. And I can leave it tall and I can leave it long because it doesn't really matter. I might need to make it taller, but I'm going to move this. Whoops. Let's hit the back button. I don't know what I changed. All right, there we go. Let's hit the top again. All right, I'm going to move this over into there. Push it down towards that end a little bit. Hope that might work. Yep. All right, now is it low enough? Yep. I don't want it to cut a hole down the bottom, so I'm going to bring this up. Oops, bring that up. So it's not sitting on the bottom. And I do want to cut the hole, so this middle section here. So let's see what we got. Let's make that a solid, yeah. All right, so we want to cut the hole so it cuts through here. I'm actually going to move it a little farther over, I think. There we go. All right. It's poking through the bottom. That's not good. Let's bring that back up. We don't want it to poke through the bottom, but we want it to be close to, let's make sure. Ah, moved it too far up. Here we go. Back, back button. No, I don't want those. Come on. There we go. Just gonna, I can hit Control and a drop arrow. Nope. Yeah, Control down arrow will drop it down, and it will give it a nice path from the from our circuit board over to our battery, or the other way around. All right, let's go ahead and make that back to a solid. There you have it. All right, let's group it. Right, left click, drag over the whole thing, hit group. And that would be your simple container. Okay. It is going to make a little indentation there, I can see. So whether or not we want that or not, it might not hurt. But we can figure it out by, let's go printing it. So once you have this print set up, the next step is you're going to do export STL and then